Steve, where do you think what should people understand about where the race is at right now?
Yeah, let's take two different views of this. First, the 30,000-foot view. This is the national polling picture. Here's your national polling average coming into tonight. Biden with a lead basically of 8 points on average over Trump. Now, how does that compare to where we were at this same point 4 years ago? This same point far out from the election. And you can see it was October 27, same number of days to the election. Clinton's lead at that point, 5.6, basically 5.5 points. Now, the key thing to remember, I think, when you see these numbers side by side, two things. Number one, Biden is over 50% in the average, and he's been over 50% for a while. Number two, this 5.6 number was on its way down at this point. We were 2 days out in 2016 from the Comey letter, the late development in that race. And by the end of the campaign, Hillary Clinton's average polling lead was about 2.5 to 3 points. So that's the question here. When you see about 8, is that going to stay at 8 or is that going to start to move down? Because that was part of the ingredients for Trump in 2016. The polling average nationally moved down at the end of that campaign. So let's see what happens there. Then there's the question here. Let's take a look at the battleground states in 3 categories. This first category, this is Biden's cleanest route to the White House. These are 3 states that Trump flipped in 2016. And you can see barely flipped them. Trump's margin in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan, less than a point in each state. Every one of these states had been Democratic since the 1980s until that night in 2016 when Trump flipped it. And look at the polling averages in these 3 states right now. It's Biden by 7, Biden by about 5.5, Biden by about 6.5. These are the strongest swing states for Joe Biden. And from an electoral college perspective, if Joe Biden goes 3 for 3 in this state, he's President-elect Joe Biden. Donald Trump has to find a way to hang on to one of these 3 Midwest states that he won by a fraction of a point in 2016. Otherwise, that electoral vote count goes under 270 for him. The next tier of battleground states, these were Trump wins by a small margin. Florida, Arizona, North Carolina in 2016. And what do we see in the polling average now? We see Biden leads. There's smaller Biden leads, 2, 3, about 2 points in North Carolina. But again, these are Biden leads. And in the scenario we just talked about, where Trump pulls out one of those Midwest states, he's now going to need all 3 of these states. So you can see he's running from behind in what amount to must-win states for him. And then these are the states where Trump had some solid wins in 2016, mid-high single digits, Georgia, Ohio, Texas, Iowa. These are reach states, or were supposed to be reach states for Joe Biden. And you actually see right now, on average, very slightly, Biden leads in Georgia on average. It's very slight, but that is a Democratic lead in the poll average. Ohio, razor thin, 0.2 of a point for Trump right now. Texas, Trump still with a lead of 4 there. And again, Iowa, where Trump almost won by 10 in 2016. Very, very slight Biden lead in the poll right now. These are the states, though, when you look at the Electoral College map, are probably gravy for Joe Biden. He'd be getting a lot more probably if he picks off one of these.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.